The United Nations Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet says all sides in the Tigray conflict in Ethiopia have violated international human rights. She added that there are grounds to believe that crimes against humanity have also been committed. The war over Tigray began a year ago with Ethiopian government forces launching an attack on the rebels in the northern region. This week, Tigrayan fighters seized two crucial towns, and they're now making a push towards the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. And now a joint investigation by the UN and the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission has found possible evidence of war crimes.
We are receiving continued allegations of serious abuses and violations of international human rights and international humanitarian law. There are reports of shelling and airstrikes resulting in civilian death, summary executions, large-scale displacement, and a worsening humanitarian situation. While the majority of the violations documented between November 2020 and June 2021 appear to have been committed by Ethiopian and Eritrean forces, we have since then seen an increasing number of allegations of human rights abuses by Tigrayan forces, as well as continued reported violations by Ethiopian and Eritrean defense forces.
Well, joining me now is Kjetil Tronvoll, a professor and research director of Peace and Conflict Studies, who joins us from Oslo. Thanks very much for your time. Let's take this human rights report first. We've heard some of the details there from Michelle Bachelet. All sides said to be guilty. Tell us a bit more about what sort of crimes we're talking about.
Well, we're talking about massive war crimes, human rights violation, which amounts to crimes against humanity. But the report itself has been very much criticized by many observers and also actors on the ground. It's a very unrepresentative data material in the report, which kind of equals all parties to the war as equal in their violations, which is basically not true. The Tigray Defense Forces, yes, they do have committed certain crimes, but the Tigrayan forces have also said, please, we are welcoming any kind of international investigations. The Ethiopian, Eritrean, and Amhara regional forces have committed considerably more extensive and more comprehensive war crimes than the Tigrayan side. So the report is receiving a lot of criticism today, as it is a biased report.
And looking ahead a bit, the government, of course, has declared a state of emergency. We've now got the conflict spreading with an alliance of rebel forces advancing on Addis Ababa. How serious is the situation now? Extremely serious.
The Tigrayan Defense Forces, together with the Oromo Liberation Army, are advancing on Addis Ababa. The Tigrayan Defense Forces won this decisive battle just some few days ago, taking two key strategic towns. I think there is little military obstacles per se which can stop a possible takeover of Addis Ababa by the resistant forces.
What does all this mean for civilians? And briefly, what can be done to stop it all from escalating?
It's too late to stop it from escalating. This war has been ongoing for 1 year exactly. And it will find its natural course on the battlefield, so to say. The time of negotiations as such is over. It's more a time of when will the Abiy Ahmed's regime be toppled. The civilians obviously are casualties in any war, but I don't think necessarily we will see so much fighting inside Addis Ababa as such. That I think will be decided before, so to say, the troops come to Addis, a takeover of power.